Today is December 2nd, 2023, and I'm gonna do uh, a quick tour of my backyard. This is how I found it, and as you can see, we have a lot of pests again. Those are such a difficult pest to handle, and as you can see, there's a lot of Swiss chard on the floor. Right here we have a pepper plant that it's not thriving, and a tomato plant, and whatever this is. I don't even think this is edible. Alright, and then we have a bolting lettuce. And over here we have a lime tree that's doing very well, actually. Way better than when I had it. And even the lime that it's producing is huge. This is probably the biggest lime I've ever seen. Look at how huge it is. It's almost the size of an orange. And then this one's not thriving that well. I don't even know what it is. It's probably radish. And then we have an avocado tree that has a lot of these pests that I'm talking about. And try to focus it. And then we have another lime tree. And then this one got really very, very big. It's a pomegranate. Is that even how you say it? I need to put it back because it took over this whole space. It's not going to leave a space for this orange tree. But it has a lot of fruit. And it's flowering. But I think it might be missing some water because the fruit that's producing doesn't look that good. But who knows how it looks from the inside. Oh, and look. Of course we see this. And then there's the orange tree. And then this one caught me by surprise. When I was over there, it produced some pears, which I didn't really think it was gonna happen. Oh, I don't think this one's gonna make it. Anyway, that's pretty cool because I never thought it was gonna actually produce. I was starting to think about pulling it out because it wasn't producing any leaves, and I never imagined it was gonna produce fruits. And then this one's not that well. This one produced fruit, but it dropped it. It's an apple tree. And then this is a mango tree, which is also being attacked by the bugs. They're so annoying. And so many, and you can't get rid of them. There's probably like 100,000 of these creatures. And every year they come back. Right after the rainy season. And it's a hustle trying to kill them all. To get rid of them. They've done already. This is all the damage they've done. And they don't let the new leaves grow. As you can see, this was supposed to be a new leaf, like this one. I can guarantee you that is not going to be there in a few days. And then my peach tree, which is flowering from one side. It's green from one side and not from the other, which is kind of weird. As you can see, it's flowering. And it produced some peaches this year. Now this tree surprised me as well. It doesn't have any fruit anymore, but it did produce quite a few. I think it's called guava in English. Yeah, it produced quite a bit actually. And then the avocado tree, I'm actually gonna trim from the top because it grew way taller than I wanted it to be. But as you can see, it's growing very well, and I'm also gonna make it a little skinnier so that it doesn't block this fig tree. The fig tree also grew a lot, so I think I might have to trim that one as well. Oh, look, a bird. Oh, it flew. I love birds. They're one of my favorite animals. And as you can see, the fig tree has some figs. And it also grew quite tall. And then this mango tree hasn't produced any mangoes, but it always tries to. But never gets to this step. As you can see, it's only flowering. And I don't think it's gonna make it, honestly. And then this tree, you have seen it before. Now these actually survived, which I'm actually very surprised. They're chile de árbol peppers. They're quite spicy, spicier than a jalapeno and a serrano. It actually has a lot. And this one too. And it's still flowering, but I don't think it's gonna make it for that long because very cold temperatures are on the way. But who knows? We'll see. And then I guess this is some basil that survived. I'm intrigued by the pepper plants. And that's the tour for today. It's not that surprising, I know, but it is what it is. So right now I'm gonna plant some seeds. I'm gonna use this dirt that I bought, and I have a few of these trays, but I'm gonna divide them, or with these I'm gonna assign one color to each one of them because I have like 3 trays. But today I'm only gonna do this one, the first one, and I'm only gonna be planting pepper seeds today. So I'll see you right now. Today is the 22nd of December, and I picked this pomegranate because I wanted to see if it's ripe, but I don't really know. I'm gonna see right now, while later on. Also, these tangerines look bigger than they usually get. They usually don't get this big. Usually they're this size, but this time they're kind of big. I need to start picking the avocados because they look kind of ready. But it's hard to tell because I picked some like 2 weeks ago and they're still not ready. So we don't really know. Because they take a long time to ripen. Even if they look dark already, they still take a long time. Oh, and also the reason why I love the pear tree is because during this time of the year it turns orange. It looks very nice. And since we live in Mexico, there aren't any trees that change color like this. That's why I like the pear tree. So we get some sense of autumn even though today is already winter, And today the weather is a little winter-like typical winter weather. And this is the reason why you shouldn't let Swiss chard flower and produce seed, because look at what happened. Because these produced, while there were the ones before these produced seeds, and now and now I have way too many. Oh, and I think the lettuce seeds are ready to pick. Yep. All these white little flower thingies, they're not really flowers because the flowers are yellow. But all of these things are the seeds. You just pick them up like this. And here are the seeds. Which I'm gonna save and plant. And I wanted to show you the peach tree, how it's flowering right now. Oh, you can really see it right now because it's dark. But it has a lot of flowers. Peach trees produce, they bloom right now, and then they produce peaches in March and also in June. So, well, I think it depends on the tree, or I don't even know, but there are some that produce in March, and I think this is one of them. Also, these are probably gonna die soon, because in like a week we're gonna have temperatures getting in the 30s. At night there's gonna be like a day that's gonna be in the 30s, like 33 or 34 degrees Fahrenheit. This one's also flowering, but not as much. Why does it do that? This is my favorite branch. We have the mango tree here, and then we have the pear tree, which I think is red. I think it has ripe pears. Now these I kill because they kill everything. They eat all my plants, and there's way too many of them. And the pomegranate is flowering. I didn't pick up those because I wasn't here, but it looks like it produced some really good one. Like, it produced a really good fruit. Oh, it's hard to tell. There we go. Those look very juicy. Unfortunately, something ate it, or I don't know what happened to it, but can't eat it right now. And that's pretty much the update for today. Not much going on. Well, I guess this zinnia started flowering, and also that one. But they're probably gonna get burned by the freeze, by frost. So, or freeze, I don't know if it's a frost, but. And then that's my avocado tree, which I have to trim from the top because I don't want it to get that tall. And then my figs. It has a few. And also this mango that has flowered for 2 years straight, or 3 years straight. This is probably its third year. But it doesn't grow the mangoes. So, and it hasn't grown that much. We'll see what happens this year. Alright, it's time to see how it is from the inside. I probably didn't open it right, but it looks good from the inside. It doesn't look as developed as the other one, but it surely does look good. Right now I'll have to taste it. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. It looks juicy, but well, I'll have to judge it by taste. Alright, so I'm gonna try it right now. It's actually really good. exactly how I like it. It's sweet and it's not that acidic. I mean, like, it's not that sour. And to think that this pomegranate was a shoot from my grandma's pomegranate tree. She gave it to me because there were a lot of shoots coming up, and she killed all of them except this one, and she gave it to me. So this one was a free tree. Today is January 5th, 2024, and I wanted to show you some of the pepper plants that have germinated. That one is the jalapeno, and then it's kind of hard to see, but if you can barely see, that's the ornamental black beauty pearl or something like that pepper. One of the peppers I've always wanted to grow, but I never thought it was actually gonna grow, and it finally germinated. And it's an extremely windy day, but I want to show you. Well, I want to try one of the pears in my pear tree that's in the backyard. However, some animal ate 3 of them, so I only have the only pear left. So that's why I'm gonna try it before they eat it. It might not even be that ripe yet. We'll see. And these, I'm letting them dry out because I want to grow new ones. I don't want to have these ones anymore. It's not all messy. And we also have some zinnias that started blooming even though there has been frost lately. I don't know how they're surviving because the temperatures have been below, well, they have been in the low 30s these last couple of days, and the pepper plants are looking perfectly fine. They don't look damaged at all. They're thriving even though the temperatures during the night are falling to the lower 30s. It was like 33 2 days ago, and maybe it's the fact that during the day the temperature goes all the way up to the 70s, so maybe that's helping them. Even though the temperature drops all the way to the 30s, during the day they go all the way to the 70s. And also I have some wild tomatillos because these grow in my area in the wild. So this isn't actually a tomatillo that I planted. This one grows in the wild. So if you go to the nearby hills during the rainy season, not right now, you'll find a lot of tomatillo plants everywhere, but they are way smaller than the ones that you buy. And they're also more sour and sweeter for some reason. And here is the last pear, because over there those are bitten. So I'm gonna cut it and I'm gonna try it right now. This pear I gave it its last chance this year. I was gonna trim it because it wasn't growing any leaves nor fruit, and look what happened. It produced fruit for its first time, and I'm gonna try it for the first time. But yeah, I have already given up in this pear tree because this is how it always looked. Every single year it wouldn't grow any leaves, so I don't know why that is. And these, I think this one might be ready, but I don't know if I should pick it up, like pick it. This one looks ready too. I don't know if I should pick it now or leave it a few days more. But it is very windy today. Extremely windy. I don't even know why. But these type of winds usually happen during the last days of January into February, not at the beginning of January. And the wind is coming from the northwest. From, I guess, from the Pacific Ocean. Since my state is at the Pacific West, in central Mexico, but it's located right in the Pacific Ocean. It's not that sweet yet, but it definitely tastes different from the one we have in the front. I'm not the biggest fan of pears, but this one's all right. Very juicy. Today is January 7th, 2024. It's a cloudy day, and today's high temperature is going to be 65 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're in central Mexico. And today I'm going to harvest some limes because they're very ripe. And I'm also gonna harvest some tangerines. But I'm gonna start with the limes. They're gonna go past they're starting to fall down. I'm only gonna pick the yellow ones. They smell so good. It's gonna be hard to get. And lime trees have spikes or thorns. And my phone stopped recording for some reason. Oh, a dead bee. That one's gonna be hard to get. This is in the way. Ooh. There we go. That was hard to get. And I'm not going to harvest any avocados because we already harvested a lot. We put them inside for them to ripen up. They take a while though. Like a month because it's been cold. I think I'm just going to harvest that one. But I don't know how I'm going to reach that. I guess I'll have to go grab the stick, the basket, I don't know how it's called, the picker. There's a lot of black avocados, but they're not ripe. Even though they look ripe, they're not. Once you pick them, they're still hard. Oh, my phone almost fell. Look, I have one here, and as you can see, it's hard. Well, I don't know if you can tell, but it's really hard. It's not ripe yet. Well, let me get the picker. I'm gonna need both hands. There we go. No. And I picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But that's not it because I'm gonna pick one last one from the backyard. I probably shouldn't mix them because I'm not gonna know which one's tastier, but who cares? I'm probably gonna cut down that tree anyways because it isn't producing. It's very yellow, so I'm probably gonna cut it and I'm gonna get a new one. I have another one which is growing way better than the one that I'm gonna pick the lime from. As you can tell from here, that one's the good one. That one's the one. That one is the one I want to take out, pull out, because it hasn't grown at all, and it produces very few. Oh, it's not ready yet. Is it? Yeah, I'm gonna pick it either way. So that makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 limes. And I'm gonna pick a pomegranate, but just one, because I don't really know if they're ripe. And I have another lime tree here. This one seems that it's growing way more than the other one. And I want to get a cherry tree, which I don't think it's gonna grow well here, but I'm still want to try it. And I'm gonna grow I want to have another. Now you know what? I'm not gonna have another one because I already have one in the front. Tangerine. Which one looks more ripe? This one or this one? Isn't there like a rule that if it gets soft, it's ripe? Or is it hard? Because this one's way harder. Let me try it with one of the smaller ones. Well, it is if it gets soft. So the one in the bottom is way more ripe. Lord, you look at that. These are the reason why my trees look damaged. This is an orange tree, as you can tell. I think I'm also gonna harvest some peppers. Nah, you know what? I don't know if I should, because I'm gonna harvest some tangerines. Nah, I guess I'm just gonna leave those for a different time. If I see a ripe orange, then I'm gonna harvest a ripe orange too. But it's most likely gonna be just tangerines. My mom has had this orange tangerine tree for like, I think ever since I was born. She already had it, or when I was very small, so probably like 20 years. So it's an old tree. I guess you can tell because of the bark, the trunk. Well, let me harvest some and I'll come back later when I have some. Oh, they're very hard. Hey. Okay, I'm gonna come back when I have a few. So there were a few ripe oranges. Isn't it funny that the tangerines are way more orange than the actual oranges? If you can only smell how good it smells. Tangerines are easier to peel, and I'll have to eat this one immediately because it's open. Today I'm gonna harvest some peppers. It's January 14th, 2024, and I have two beds that are ready. One bed, I have two beds. One is gonna be for lettuce, and I have them ready because the lettuce plants have already sprouted. So it's I planted the ones that produce flower here, which is red lettuce, And then I also planted a seed that I bought, which is red romaine lettuce. And then the other one's gonna be for corn. I think I'm gonna harvest that tomato as well. Which is crazy is that the temperatures have been in the low 30s and yet these tomatoes survived. The tomato plant. It doesn't look the healthiest, but it survived. Alright, I'm gonna harvest these peppers and I'm gonna come back once I have them in the plate. Today is January 18th, 2024, and I have transplanted the red lettuce. These are the seeds that I got from these plants. Today is January 24, 2024, and it'll probably be the last update of my garden for the month. In the morning we did have a light frost, so I'm a little scared. I'm a little worried, but we'll see what happens. As you can see, I've actually pulled out some of the Swiss chard. I'm going to continue to do that so that I can have more space. These are still flowering, and I have picked a ton of seeds from these red lettuce. And also, I don't know if I showed this in the other video, but this is how the red lettuce is doing. The ones that I got, yeah, I did show it. The ones that I got from the seed from there. This is how it's doing. You can kind of see it. I've also planted red romaine, but I didn't fill it completely because I didn't have enough sprouts. But those are harder to see. And I did have a little bit of frost in the morning in this particular square. You can kind of see one right here. There and there. Also, the limes are doing pretty good. They're flowering and they're putting out new leaf growth. They have a lot of flowers. And they also have a few limes growing. And also this one is starting to produce some leaves. So hopefully it produces a lot of leaves. Also, these sprouted. It's a mix of flowers for the shade. And then these are sunflowers, but they haven't germinated. And then we have two types of zinnias. We have basil, parsley, white onion, and cilantro. And over here, we have some yellow popcorn that has sprouted. That will eventually go right there. But I'm going to wait until at least 18 of them have germinated. And then the avocado. Then we have another lime tree that is also flowering. And producing new leaves. And we have the pomegranate, which is growing quite big, so I'll have to trim this part of the tree. We have the orange tree. And the pear. We have the, I don't know how that's called in English, which is producing new leaves as well. Hopefully it'll produce some big branches to the sides, because if we have windstorms, that's gonna damage the tree. And then we have the apple tree, and one of my favorite trees, the mango tree. This is a yellow variety, and it's putting out a lot of leaves as well. And then we have the peach tree, which is finishing blooming. We have these zinnias that started flowering by themselves when they haven't died from the frost. And they probably won't. We have the guava tree, and then the avocado tree, which I have to trim from the top. We have the fig tree, which is almost done dropping all of its leaves. I'll probably have to trim it from the top as well. And then we have this mango tree, which has been trying to produce mangoes for the last 4 years, but hasn't been successful at it. And then these peppers have survived a lot of frosts, and they're starting to produce new leaves. They're not the healthiest, but they're thriving. Well, not thriving, but surviving. And last, and these as well. They're putting out new growth, actually. I should probably pick all the ripe peppers off of this plant. And last but not least, we have the biggest peach tree, which is still blooming, but it's also producing it's already producing some peaches. And that's pretty much it for now.